Amber Heard. Narcissism on show. Video analysis. Film promo. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Amber Heard, with the ongoing trial, has provided us with a wealth of material to understand more about her narcissism and see it in action. However, as you know, in order to establish whether somebody is a narcissist, I apply my expertise and look at a wide range of behaviours over a sustained period of time to ascertain whether the individual provides us with sufficient evidence to get them over a certain high evidential threshold. It's not enough just to look at one or two instances. One has to look at a variety of them. I have, of course, been analysing various aspects of the evidence provided in the trial because they are very useful at enabling you to understand more about narcissism in effect using this real-life example. However, in order to demonstrate that Amber Heard is indeed a narcissist and to enable you to understand and interpret her behaviours through that narcissistic lens, I've also looked at other pieces of footage. And with the first one, there's a short clip which revolves around, I think, the film Never Back Down and promotional work that Amber Heard is undertaking. Let's have a look at the clip first, and then I'll break it down for you.
And you promoted the Mandy Lane film.
No, I didn't.
You weren't there? Because there was like 8 of you there. There was I was sure that you were there. Okay, I'm
No,
my mind.
I didn't go to Toronto. I was filming my show.
Because there was so many other people. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations, you did a really good job in this. And I was just wondering, I mean, this is a pretty heavy-duty script when you look at it. What was it that kind of resonated with you when you read it, that you wanted to do it?
You know, it's so important. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Courtney, I can't do this if people are coming in and out of the door. It's really distracting. Extremely. Thank you.
Do you want to start it? We'll start again?
Yes, that would be great. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I keep like
No, that's okay. I
not
know, it's
looking
in
at
your
you. I
eye
look
line.
at them, so
Not
it's
a problem.
really
Let's start again. Okay.
Thank you.
You did a really good job in this film, and I wanted to
you.
ask you.
They have had the okay, they've had the tagline because you're worth.
Okay, you've seen the clip. Now, what do we make of it? It's clearly promotional work that Amber Heard is undertaking, and she's being asked about promoting the Mandy Lane film. At this juncture, note, her mouth is open, and there's a vacant stare. She's not particularly interested in what's going on, and her intermittent facade management, given her status of the type of mid-range narcissist that she is, means that she isn't able to conjure up that veneer of being interested in what's going on. Moreover, the suggestion from the interviewer that she attended something in Toronto when Heard maintains that she did not is, of course, a threat to control, and she states, "No, I didn't." As she states this, there's a very slight noise behind her, and she immediately and somewhat violently turns to look at the source of the noise. Anybody else who would be engaged with the interviewer would either perhaps just move their eyes to see what the source of the noise is, or would ignore it because they were engaged in talking to the interviewer, and would be able, by virtue of professional focus, to shut out any other distractions. It's not the first time that she'll have been interviewed, and it's quite common for places to be rather busy when promotional work is being undertaken. Journalists, lackeys, personal assistants, etc. moving around. Her hypersensitivity to this distraction is demonstrative of the way that her narcissism is effectively always sweeping the situation like a radar to determine whether there are any threats to control. And the noise in itself is a threat to her control because it's distracting her from what she's doing. The interviewer continues speaking, and then a male voice can be slightly heard, and Heard turns once again. It's an exaggerated movement, which is a consequence of the irritation that her narcissism is creating in her at once again being distracted. Again, she lacks the professionalism just to plough onwards. She then responds to the interviewer, stating, "No, I didn't go to Toronto. I was filming my show. The question posed by the interviewer and the insistence that she was in Toronto is, of course, a threat to her unconscious need for control. Note the withering look that Heard provides, and the slight dismissive smile. But this is accompanied by a cold and dismissive look. There's no warmth there, because Heard has no emotional empathy, and the type of narcissist that she is, it struggles to emulate that as such, and is unable to do so in this instance. The footage then jumps forward, and the interviewer is heard complimenting Amber Heard with reference to dealing with a heavy-duty script. While she's being asked about this, Heard looks again to the left and then does it again, and just as she starts to answer, she halts the interview and calls for her personal assistant. "I can't do this if people are coming in and out of the door. It's really distracting," she states in a haughty manner. Again, her lack of professionalism occurs because of a hypersensitivity to potential threats to control. A non-narcissist might notice the distractions, but would carry on nevertheless, and would only intervene if the distractions became more intrusive. A more evolved narcissist, utilising charisma and a greater degree of control, would just plough on, perhaps making a joke about what's going on around them. But with her level of narcissism is such that the hypersensitivity to control becomes affected, and she has to halt the interview. This exhibits her absence of focus and hypersensitivity to the need to control, and a lack of accountability towards the interviewer. The PA then suggests that she'll effectively sort it out. The interviewer suggests starting again, and Heard emphasises that it's not her fault. This, of course, is the blame shifting. Now, it isn't her fault that there's a distraction going on. That's caused by somebody else. But what she's doing is basically saying, I haven't got it about me to remain focused and continue this interview. It's somebody else that's interrupting me, and I can't handle this. It's just too much. It's extreme. The interruptions aren't extreme. We've heard them. There was somebody coming through a door. They hardly made any noise, and somebody said something. And therefore, it's not like somebody's walking in and going, "Hey, Amber, how are you doing?" or running over and squirting in the face with water. She ought to, as a professional, be able to deal with all of this. But the hypersensitivity of her control means that it's threatened by these distractions, and this is the end result that we see. There is another short clip that follows on from this of a different interview where Heard is speaking, and something, we don't know what it is, distracts her. Immediately, she stops talking, rather than just glancing and then thinking, oh, it's somebody walking through. She acts as if perhaps somebody's walking through stark bollock naked with "I hate Amber Heard" written across their chest, because she stops, gawps, gives a stunned look, and then there is a half-smile stroke grimace. The person's appearance is a threat to her control, and rather than just deal with it, her narcissism causes her to stop. And then once the distraction has gone, she continues as nothing has happened. This shows the compartmentalization, that once that person appears, they're a threat to control. Her narcissism doesn't actually select anything to cause her to address the threat to control, but rather she just stops and stares. And before she needs to do anything, through her narcissism, the threat has disappeared and the problem has solved itself, allowing her to flick her hair and carry on. It's an excellent example of the compartmentalization and how her particular narcissism isn't that fast and effective to nullify the threat to control. Here are the clips again so that you can watch them with the knowledge of what I've just said floating around in your head. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.
And you promoted the Mandy Lane film.
No, I didn't.
You weren't there? Because there was like 8 of you there. There was I was sure that you were there. Okay, I'm
No,
my mom.
I didn't go to Toronto. I was filming my show.
Because there were so many other people. Okay, we good? Yeah. Okay. Congratulations, you did a really good job in this. And I was just wondering, I mean, this is a pretty heavy-duty script when you look at it. What was it that kind of resonated with you when you read it, that you wanted to do it?
you know, it's so important. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Courtney, I can't do this if people are coming in and out of the door. It's really distracting. Extremely. Thank you.
Do you want to start it? We'll start again?
Yes, that would be great. I'm
okay.
sorry, I keep like
No, that's
you know
okay. I
not
know it's
looking
in
at
your
you. I
eye
look
line.
at them, so
Not
it's
a problem.
really
Let's start again. Okay.
Thank you.
You did a really good job in this film, and I wanted to ask you.
You know, they have had the. Okay, they've had the tagline, "Because you're worth."